Good day to all grade 12 students. Welcome to our applied economics class for this day. I am your Sir Renz Angela D. Calzada, your subject teacher for applied economics. And guess what? We are now in the fourth quarter of school year 2021 to 2022. Talaga namang sobrang bilis ng panahon. And I do believe also that you are very much excited to learn new lessons in our subject for today. Kaya naman, huwag na nating patagalin pa. Let us have first our prayer before we begin our class. Dear Lord and Father of all, thank you for today. Thank you for ways in which you provide for us all. For your protection and love, we thank you. Help us to focus our hearts and minds now on what we are about to learn. Inspire us by your Holy Spirit as we listen and write. Guide us by your eternal light as we discover more about the world around us. We ask this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen. So ayan, once again, welcome grade 12 students to our applied economics class for today. So I am requesting all the students who are watching this video lesson to please feel comfortable to wherever you are in your respective homes. So please kindly clear up your space kung nasan kayo ngayon and keep away all the distractions so that you can really focus on our lesson for today. And of course, I would like to request the students also to please get your self-learning modules because that will be our guide as we have our lesson in applied economics this morning. Ayan. And before we proceed with our discussion for our lesson for today, let us have first a review of the previous lesson. So in the previous lesson, determining the implication of market pricing on economic decision making was discussed. To serve as a review, I fill out the diagram that shows actual scenarios with the possible solutions to situations regarding shortage and surplus. Last week, we were able to discuss about shortage and surplus. So I guess and I believe that you are already knowledgeable enough about the concepts about shortage and surplus. So let's have this activity. So what you can see now on the picture that is being flashed on your screen. So it says there the N95 3-ply mask hand sanitizer no stock. So I believe that this image was taken in the early days of the onset of the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. Kasi during that time, nagkakaubusan ang mga mask, di ba? So talagang nawawala ng stock and talagang the people are really panic buying kaya nauubusan ng stock ang ibang buyers. So, ano bang meron dyan? Of course, there is a shortage. Very good. May shortage. Bakit kaya may shortage? A free market can eliminate the shortage in the market by paano ba ito ma-resolve? This shortage. Ano dapat ang gagawin ng mga businessmen para hindi magkaroon ng shortage sa mga mask? So definitely you already know the answer for this kasi you experience it, di ba? A free market can eliminate the shortage in the market by raising the price of the goods or service. Very good. So kailangan taasan ang presyo so that the buyers will only be limited by within themselves kung ano yung dapat nilang kayang bilhin. Kasi of course, if the price will increase, the number of items that they can buy will also, or they can bought, will also decrease. Ayan. So that is the ways on how we can resolve shortage, especially on that certain scenario na nagkakaubusan ng face mask. How about this? Ayan, so makikita mo dyan, meron dyan mga iba't ibang, I think that is iba't ibang mga toothpaste, the brands, and merong sale So therefore, kapag merong sale, automatic na maiisip natin merong surplus. O ano? O ano dapat ang magiging solusyon natin dyan if there is a surplus on that certain products? So if a surplus exists, price must fall in order to entice additional quantity demanded and reduce quantity supplied until the surplus will be eliminated. Of course, dili na siya mahalin. That will not be sold to the buyers if the price is still the same. Meron na nga surplus. Kapag surplus, sobra-sobra na ang supply ng certain na product or goods. Para mahalin siya, so that the buyers will buy the product, the businessman should be forced to reduce the price of that certain products. Okay? Kaya merong sale na nagaganap. So that is the reason why. So, with that being said, these different products are present in the market, these different goods, services, products, but we all know that these products also are categorized based on its availability, on how it is being sold in the market, based on the number of buyers, based on the number of businessmen who are selling that certain products or goods. So meron tayong iba't ibang types. And dito natin malalaman ang ating lesson for this morning, which is all about differentiate various market structures. And we are now in the week 1 and 2 in the 4th quarter of our school year in our subject Applied Economics. So to those who cannot view this video lesson, don't you worry because you have your self-learning modules. You can read that one and understand the lessons in your module about the differentiate various market structures. So before we proceed with our discussion, let me share to you first our most essential learning competency, and that is differentiate various market structure based on number of sellers, types of products, entry or exit to market, pricing power, and others. And here are our objectives for this lesson. That is to differentiate various market structure based on number of sellers, types of products, entry or exit to market, pricing power, and others. Kaya naman, let us start. Pero gaya ng sabi ko kanina to all the learners who don't have gadgets and internet connection to watch this video lessons, I already gave you the self-learning module, so don't you worry if you cannot watch this. Watching this video lesson is not compulsory. Okay? So now let us begin with our lesson about market structures. So in your grade 9 Araling Panlipunan, you have already learned about supply, demand, and the competition between suppliers as well as to businessmen. How would you describe competition among them? O, diba? Diba in your grade 9, napag-usapan ninyo ito about competition. So, paano ba, how will you describe the competition between the businessmen? So, how do they compete? Of course, number one talaga dyan in making their products, making their products the quality at its best. And of course, ang iba sa kanila ay binabawasan nila ang presyo so that their products can be sold to the buyers, to the prospect buyers. And aside from that, ginagandahan nila ang packaging, meron silang mga advertisements. So those are some of the ways that the businessmen are doing for them to compete with their competitors para mapalit ang ilang mga products. And of course, what's the relationship of this competition to our topic about the market structures? Of course, we are talking about here businessmen. Okay? The number of businessmen, of course, if there are businessmen, a lot of businessmen, then there could be a lot of, or the essence of competition is really there. But there could also be instances na isa lang ang businessman or isa lang ka tigbaligya, ang nagabaligya in a certain product or service. Alam niyo ba yan? So, isa yan sa mga pag-aaralan natin sa ating lesson for today about the market structure. But before that one, let us in-person activity. Okay? And in this activity, in the succeeding slides, there will be pictures that can represent each market structure, and you are going to try to identify each jumbled words, or I mean, yeah, the jumbled words and the pictures that are presented in the slide. You will be matching them, and you are going to guess what the jumbled letters mean. Okay, so you are going to arrange them. So this activity is entitled "4 Picks One Word." Ayan. So let us begin with our activity. Okay, so we have the pictures here. We have 4 pictures. You can see the farmer's market. You can see tomatoes. And you have the jumbled letters or the jumbled words here. So ano kaya yung ano? What do you think are the word or the words that will be formed if we're going to arrange the letters in these words? The clue here, ang clue dito merong dalawang word. Okay? So what do you think is your answer? Very good. The answer here is perfect competition. Ayan, perfect competition. Let's proceed on the next item. Uy, what you can see here, merong mga bahay, merong ilaw. So I guess this is about electricity. Okay? Uy, and here is the jumbled word. Ano kaya ang ano kaya ang word na ito if we're going to arrange the letters? Okay, very good. The answer is monopoly. Okay? Now let's proceed. Oy, merong Caltex, Phoenix, Sea Oil. Ayan, meron ding Shell, Petron. Ano kaya ito? Okay, the jumbled word. Ayan, so naka-form na siya. So ano ang word dito? That is oligopoly. Ayan, very good. Now let's proceed on the next slide. Oh, ito. Ano kaya ito? Merong mga iba't ibang brand ng toothpaste. Merong Colgate, merong Close Up, meron ding Happy. Oh, ano kaya ito? And here's the jumbled letters. Okay, so what do you think is the answer? 2 words ito. Okay, very good. The answer is monopolistic competition. Very good. So at this point, ayan. So, yung mga words na na-form ninyo, those are the different types of market structure. We have the perfect competition, monopoly, oligopoly, and the monopolistic competition. Okay? So, when we say market structures, the analysis of market structures is of great importance when studying microeconomics. And in this lesson, how the market will behave depending on the number of buyers or sellers, its dimensions, the existence of entry and exit barriers, and etc. will determine how an equilibrium is reached and will be studied in this lesson. So mamaya malalaman natin, ilang sellers ba meron sa monopoly? Ano ba ang mga klaseng mga goods and services na pwedeng makategorize natin sa monopolistic competition? So those are the things that we are going to learn in this lesson. So are you guys ready? Ayan, so I guess you are now ready. So let us begin with, okay, let me present first the market structures. We have the perfect competition, we have the monopoly, meron tayong monopolistic competition, and the oligopoly. Let us begin with the perfect competition. So when we say perfect competition, this is also called competitive markets, also referred to as pure or free competition. Expresses the idea of the combination of a wide range of firms which freely enter or leave the market and which considers prices as information, since each bidder only provides a relatively small share of the good to the market and thus do not exert a noticeable influence on it. Therefore, perfect competitors cannot influence the levels of market clearing prices. Also, buyers are numerous and dispersed, which also means that they cannot influence prices. So based on the description and also on the picture that you can see now on the slide, makikita niyo the situation or the location is in the wet market. Ano-ano ba yung mga tinitinda natin sa wet market? Merong mga gulay, may mga prutas, may mga isda, iba't ibang klase ng karne, and there are a lot of buyers. And also there are a lot of sellers. So that is one of the characteristics of a perfect competition. Anyone can sell in a perfect competition, even if they have the same kind, the same texture, the same appearance of whatever they are selling. That is for perfect competition. And if a certain individual would like to sell that certain product, for example, gusto siya mamaligya og kalabasa, anytime she can sell kalabasa. Kahit na sobrang dami niya ng competitors, walang problema. Okay? So that is for perfect competition. Ayan. So here are some of the characteristics of perfect competitions. Meron dito, homogeneous products. Kapag sinabing homogeneous, pare-pareha ang itsura. Okay? Kapag bibili ka ng ng mangga, pareha namang mangga yan. Magbabase na lang if hinog ba or ang tawag anak ka ng tamis ba o kung di pa ba siya hinog. Ayan. Kapag sa perfect competition din, nandiyan din ang large number of agents. Ibig sabihin, sobrang daming nagbebenta. Okay? Pangalawa, no entry or exit barrier. Kung gusto mo magbenta, gaya na sabi ko, gusto mo magbenta ng kalabasa, go ahead. Walang pipigil sa'yo. Tapos kung gusto mo rin, kung feeling mo na hindi ka kumikita, gusto mo nang tumigil sa pagbebenta, go ahead. Wala ding pipigil sa iyo. So that's why it is described as no entry or exit barriers. Pangatlo, price flexibility. The price may vary from time to time based on the demand. Ayan, and of course, based din sa nagabaligya, pwede siyang mupatong o iyahang presyo, no? Pwede niyang gawin 'yon. And kaya tinawag siya na price flexibility. For example, isang seller ng, let's say, ng petchay. Ang price niya is, let's say, for example, 150 per kilos. Well, ako naman, nagbibenta din ako ng petchay, gusto kong taasan ng presyo, I can do that. So, pwede ko siyang gawin na 170 per kilo ng petchay. So, that's why it is price flexibility. Aside from that, free and perfect information. Bakit free? Anything you want to buy, you will have an idea whatever it is. You can get an idea from the internet, get an idea coming from the seller. It's up to you if you're going to believe it or not. Okay? Next is perfect factor mobility. So in terms of the transportation of these products, you can buy wherever. You can actually see these products anywhere. Not only in the wet market, actually these products can also be seen in the malls, diba? Ganyan. So that's why it is perfect factor mobility. Okay, those are the characteristics of the perfect competition. So here are some of the examples of the perfect competition. Meron tayo dyan agricultural markets, free software, ayan, meron din. Street food vendors, so those are example of the products that can be found in the perfect competition. And aside from that, we can also relate the perfect competition to the ethnic groups of the Mandaya that can be found in the Marilog area in Davao City. They are used to grow vegetables and fruits such as lettuce, cabbage, strawberries, durian, lanzones, and mangosteen and have them solve as their primary source of income. And of course, this type of market structure can be categorized as a perfect competition since a lot of individuals in the said ethnic group sell the same product in the public market. So, di ba? Ayan, merong petchay, merong lettuce, merong cabbage. Iba't ibang klase ng gulay kapag pupunta ka doon at saka doon yan inaangkat ng mga nagtitinda rin dito sa lowland, dito sa city. And of course, that is their primary source of income. Okay? Let's now proceed on the next type of the market structure, and that is monopoly. When we say monopoly, that is a form of market structure of imperfect competition, mainly characterized by the existence of a sole seller and many buyers. This kind of market is normally associated with entry and exit barriers. All of these features give the monopolist the ability to set prices with the only limitation of consumers' willingness to pay. Therefore, in monopolies, the seller is a price maker and consumers will be price takers. So based on what you have understood, talagang in a monopoly setting, in a monopoly market, isa lang ang seller. Imagine that. And best example for that is Meralco. They are the only company that provides electricity to the entire Metro Manila. Sila lang yun. So sila lang. And given that they are the only seller of that certain service or product, they can decide on the price they want to impose, 'di ba? Sa kanilang electricity na binibigay or pinoproduce sa bawat bahay or in every establishment. And aside from that, kaya iisa lang ang mga buyer, kaya tinawag siyang monopoly kasi mahirap ring mag-enter. When you are going to venture in a certain products that is categorized in a monopoly market, it requires a lot of requirements, of course. And it requires a lot of money and resources. And it has to be approved by the government. And kailangan pa siya i-approve starting in the Congress, in the Senate, and be approved by the President. Ganun siya hirap. Kaya hindi basta-basta pumasok. And kung aalis ka sa monopoly market, hindi din basta-basta. Kasi imagine, if si Meralco, or let's say here in Davao City, we have the Davao Light, the Aboitiz company. Kung mawawala si Aboitiz, sino na lang ang magbibigay sa atin ng electricity? Right? So there is a very difficult exit and entry in this kind of market, which we call monopoly. Okay? So let us discuss some of its characteristics. So again, single seller or producer, nag-iisa lang. Pangalawa, unique product. Of course, wala kang kapareha kasi ikaw lang nagbebenta, di ba? Pangatlo, impossible entry. Sobrang hirap makapasok sa market or sa business na iyan. Okay? So here are some of the examples. We have the Davao Light, the Davao City Water District. Ayan. And we have also Google, di ba? It is the browsing site for most of, halos lahat yata ng tao dito sa mundo. Di ba? Davao Light is the primary source of a supplier of electricity here in Davao City. And hopefully soon in Davao del Norte and in Samal Island. Okay? Now let's proceed on the third type of market structure, and that is oligopoly. When we say oligopoly, it is a form of market structure that is considered as halfway between two extremes, perfect competition and monopolies. This kind of imperfect competition is characterized by having a relatively scarce number of firms, but always more than one, which produce a homogeneous good. Due to the small number of firms in the market, the strategies between firms will be interdependent, thus implying that the profits of an oligopolistic firm will highly dependent on their competitors' action. So based on what we have understood in the passage on the certain or on the description for this certain market structure, oligopoly, hindi siya monopoly kasi madami ang nagbebenta, pero hindi kasing dami ng perfect competition. Iilan lang. Kapag sinabi natin iilan, nabibilang lang. Okay? And they are selling the same product. Okay? Kaya siya medyo similar sa perfect competition. And the best example for this are Shell, Caltex, Petron, in which they are all oil companies. Nagbebenta sila ng crudo, ng gasolina. Okay? And pareha sila ng binibenta. Nakikita nyo sa mga gasolinahan, meron silang iba't ibang pangalan ng kanilang mga fuel doon, ng kanilang mga oil. But in reality, they are all the same because inaangkat nila yan sa parehong supplier wherein it comes from in the Middle East or in the, let's say, in what do you call that one? In Ukraine, iisa lang naman, doon yan ang gagaling. Kapag napunta na dito sa Philippines, that's the time that these oil companies will do their marketing para mas kaaya-aya siyang pakinggan to the buyers, para mas tangkilikin ang kanilang oil company, para sa kanila bibili. Okay? So when it comes to the entry and exit in this certain market, this market structure, medyo mahirap siya. It's difficult because number one, venturing to this kind of business is expensive. And when it comes also to exit, medyo expensive din siya but not that crucial compared to monopoly. Okay? Now let us learn what are its characteristics. Number one, few sellers. Okay, gaya ng sabi ko, hindi kasing dami ng perfect competition pero hindi kasing liit ng monopoly. Iilan lang, nabibilang. Next is homogeneous or differentiated products. Kanina I said, just like in the oil companies, Shell, Petron, Caltex, they are selling the same products. And we can say that the products are homogeneous. Pare-pareha sila. Pero in an oligopoly setting or in an oligopoly market, the products could be differentiated. Maaring magkakaiba-iba sila. For example, mga what do you call that one? Mga car companies. Suzuki, Mitsubishi, Ford, what else? Ano pa ba? Ano pa bang mga car companies? Nissan. Yan sila mga car companies. They are selling cars, yes, pero in terms of the feature, they differ. Diba? Sa mga features ng kanilang mga sasakyan, for Mitsubishi, ganito ang feature niya. For Suzuki, ganito din ang feature niya. For Subaru, ganito naman din. So, differentiated. Another example for differentiated are yung sa mga cellphones. Ayan, for the cellphones, for example, Oppo, iPhone, or in the Apple company, we have also Realme, Huawei. They are selling the same. They are selling cell phones. However, they differ in terms of the specs. Okay, the specs of their cell phone depending on the brand, depending also in the model. Okay, so kaya differentiated. There are instances that the products in an oligopoly market are differentiated. So gaya ng sabi ko kanina, there is a difficult exit for this one. Kasi imagine if you have inputted or invested a lot of money for that certain business. Kasi hindi naman kasi biro when you are going to sell oil, when you're going to sell cell phones, cars, that is no joke. You are going to invest a lot of money. So when you are going to exit, that would cost you a lot. So kapag mag-exit ka sa certain market na yan for oligopoly, ibig sabihin na lugi ka. Okay? Kaya there is a difficult exit. So here are some of the examples. Gaya ng sabi ko, car companies, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, and Subaru. Okay? So let's now proceed on the last type of market structure, and that is the monopolistic competition. So when we say monopolistic competition, that is a market structure defined by four main characteristics: large numbers of buyers and sellers, perfect information, low entry and exit barriers, similar but differentiated goods, and this last one is key to distinguish monopolistic competition from perfect competition, since in the latter all products are homogeneous. This product differentiation leads consumers to perceive products in this market as unique, providing firms with a monopolistic-like property that enables them having price-making power. So ano yung mga points na napakinggan natin or nabasa natin sa description for monopolistic competition? Number one, madaming sellers at madami ding buyers. For example, we have an example here. You can see now on the slide. We have Jollibee, McDonald's, Chowking, KFC. You may also add there Greenwich. So ano yung mga binibenta nila? So ano yung mga, these are fast foods. Nagbibenta sila ng fried chicken, meron silang pasta, halos parehas ang kanilang mga sinuserve. Pero isa rin sa mga characteristics ng monopolistic competition is that their goods are differentiated or magkaiba-iba. Saan ba sila magkakaiba-iba in terms of number one, possibly on the taste? Iba ang lasa ng manok sa Jollibee compared ng manok sa McDo. O, di ba? Iba ang itsura ng plating or ng serving ng sa KFC compared sa Chowking. In terms also, in the physical setup of their store, iba din. Merong ibang store na medyo mainit ang kanilang aircon, meron ding iba na medyo malamig, malaki, convenient for studying, mas tinatangkilik ng marami kasi mas malinis siya. So those things that are mentioned are really a factor in terms of the choices of the buyers as to whom they are going to choose when they are going to buy certain products, especially on these kind of brands, Jollibee, McDonald's, wherein they are selling the same kind of goods, diba? So that makes it differentiated. Okay? So, and aside from that, last one, these monopolistic competition products or the businessmen who are in this type of market structure can manipulate the price of the goods that they are selling. Okay? So kindly take note of that. They can manipulate the price or they have the price making power. Okay? And in terms of the exit and entry, hindi masyadong mahirap ang entrance when you're going to venture to a certain product that belongs to a monopolistic competition market structure. As well as in the exit, hindi masyadong mahirap. For example, you want to have a franchise of a Jollibee. Ano lang bang kakailanganin mo? Of course, you need money for the franchise. Aside from that, you will be needing some permits coming from the mayor, from the city health office. So those are the things. Hindi siya masyadong complicated compared with the monopoly and oligopoly. So when it comes to the entry and exit, not so difficult. Okay? Now let us know some of its characteristics. Again, many small sellers. Ayan, sobrang dami. Another example for that are the toothpaste brands. Ayan, Happy, Colgate, Close Up, ayan, Sensodyne. Ayan, so those are an example of monopolistic competition. Aside from that, I already explained this one, differentiated products and easy entry and exit. Okay? Remember that, easy entry and exit. So here are some of the examples. Gaya na sabi ko, toothpaste brands, Colgate, Close Up, Happy. Meron din tayo mga detergent na mga brands, mga sabon, Ariel, Champion, and Tide. Ayan. So hopefully you learned a lot when it comes to the different types of market structures. And I know this time when you are going to see a certain product in the market, you can easily identify kung saan market structure siya na belong. For example, makita ka ng brand ng shampoo. Oy, merong Sunsilk, merong Dove. Ah, okay, these products belongs to monopolistic competition. So as easy as that. For example, yung sa yung mga, anong tawag dyan? Yung mga TV stations, ABS-CBN, GMA, TV5, ano yan sila? Okay, they belong to oligopoly market structure. Kasi hindi sila madami, iilan lang, but they are giving the same kind of service that is to entertain the viewers. Okay? So for me to really learn, if you have really understood our lesson for this day, let us have this activity. Activity number 2. Here's the instruction. You're going to match column A with column B, and you're going to write the letter of your choice before the number. You can use the same letter as many as needed. So excited na ba kayo? So I want you to prepare your modules because this can also be found on your modules, and I want you to write your answer in a separate sheet of paper. So let's start. Ayan. So, Meralco. Ano kaya itong Meralco? So Meralco is, okay, na-discuss natin ito. This is a monopoly kasi siya lang isa, si Meralco lang ang nag-iisang supplier ng electricity sa Metro Manila. How about PLDT? O telephone brand, o di kaya telephone, communication service. So aside from PLDT, meron man din tayong Globe, merong Smart, meron din yung meron yung bagong brand, I forgot the name. So ano yan siya? So iilan lang sila, but they are offering the same kind of product. That means it belongs to oligopoly. Very good. How about this? Car brands, Ford, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Toyota, Subaru. Okay, they belong to still oligopoly. Very good. How about this? O mga gulay, talong, carrots, ano ba ito? Mga kamatis. Very obvious. This can be found in the wet market. So this belongs to monopolistic competition. Very good. Now, ano na naman? This is different brands of milk. Iba't ibang brands ng milk. Sobrang dami. That belongs to. Okay, let me do some erasure. Sorry, namali pala ito. This is, ito mga gulay that belongs to perfect competition. Ayan, very good. Buti na lang nakita natin. And I guess you already got it right. Sorry na mali, sister. Ayan, ito mga milk products. Saan ito sila na market structure? Okay, very good. That belongs to monopolistic competition. Ayan, very good. So please clap your hands kasi I know all of you got it correct. Kasi sobrang dali lang naman ang activity na yan. Very good. Now, let's proceed on the third activity. And here is the direction. Choose among the following choices that best describes each statement. Write the letter of your answer in the space provided before each number. At this point, I will only answer number 1. And you will be answering the rest of the items. Kasi gusto ko talagang malaman whether you really understood our lesson for this morning. Kaya naman, simulan na natin. Okay? Please prepare your modules and get your paper and pen. So for number 1, it is also referred to as pure or free competition. Is it perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, or oligopoly? Ano kaya siya? Pure or free competition? Obviously, that is a perfect competition. So I will write letter A there. Ayan. So kayo na ang sasagot ha sa rest of the items. For number 2, it is a market structure wherein there are only few sellers involved. O ano kaya yan? Perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, or oligopoly? Number 3, barriers to entry and exit are blocked. Grabe, blocked talaga. Wherein no one is able to enter due to high capital needs. Ay, alam niyo yan. Sige, please write your answer. Write the letter of the answer. Ayan. Number 4, there is only one seller who provides to all consumers. Oy, feeling ko pareha ang answer ni number 3 at number 4. So ano kaya yon? So number 5, it is a combination of monopoly and perfect competition. Oy. So what do you think is the answer? Is it perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, or oligopoly? Okay. So, please answer it well and abangan ko ang answers ninyo na nakasulat sa inyong mga yellow paper. Sana perfect kasi sobrang dali ng activity na ito. Ayan. Now, let's proceed on the fourth activity. Ano naman ito nandito sa fourth activity? Tingnan natin ito. At this point, sasagutan ko lang ang numbers 1 and 2. Kasi gusto ko makita rin if you have really understood the lesson about market structure. So, ang gagawin ninyo dito, meron tayong set of words here with the following items and fill in the blanks with the correct answer. The choices are provided in the box. You can use the words in the box as many times needed. Okay, nakuha? So, pipili tayo dito sa box. Ayan, I will encircle the box. And we'll be choosing words here na ilalagay natin dito sa ating column. And per column, meron dyang mga nakasaad ng mga corresponding numbers. And those are the cells that we're going to answer. So, sasagutan na natin number 1 and number 2. For number 1, for monopoly, ano daw yung number of sellers niya? Uy, for monopoly, number of sellers, we can only say here, ang meron dito is only few. Okay, wala naman kasing nag-iisa kasi isa lang, di ba yun? Pero wala sa choices. So, lalagay natin dyan, few. Okay? How about for oligopoly? Number of sellers. Ilan? Few lang din. Ayan, lagay natin dito, few. O sige, sagutan na lang din natin ang number 3. What do you think is the answer? For perfect competition, ano daw ang types of products? The types of products are pare-pareha. Kapag sinabi nating pare-pareha, they are homogeneous. So, sulat ko lang dito homo kasi di nakasya. Okay? So, I want you to answer items number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in your respective yellow sheet of paper. And hopefully that you can get it right because this is very easy. And I know you can really get it right. Okay? Now, the competition in business firms are somehow modeled after one of the symbiosis relationships of animals, which is called competition. So, hindi lang pala sa economics merong competition, pati din sa mga animals, meron din competition or in any living organisms. Now, the question is, why do you think the concept of competition in business is similar to the concept of competition among the animals? Pareha ba? Oo, medyo pareha. Kasi the concept of competition in animals is nag-aagawan sila ng prey nila because in a competition there is a predator and a prey. So most probably there are two or more predators who are fighting for that certain prey, di ba? Let's say for example, merong tiger and lion which are fighting for a deer, which is the prey. So competition naman din in terms of economics or in the business, of course, the businessmen are fighting for the approval or for the selection of the buyers. The buyers wanted to be selected by the sellers. Gusto nilang piliin sila at bilihin ang kanilang products, syempre. So what do these businessmen do? How do they compete with each other? Of course, they focus on making their products perfect as much as possible na kumbaga pipiliin ng mga buyers. For example, they will make the packaging attractive or aesthetic, bababaan nila ang price para mas bilihin ang kanilang product, or let's say for example, they are focusing on the quality of their products. Let's say, for example, the iPhone versus, let's say, for example, Samsung. So in terms of the quality of the camera, I must say that iPhone has better camera resolution compared to Samsung. So parang ganon. So those are the means that businessmen compete with each other in the field of economics or in the field of market to whatever market structure they belong. Okay? Now, let us have this last activity. And for this last activity, I am really hopeful that all of you have really understood our lesson for this day. And if you have questions on our lesson for today, please do not be hesitant on asking questions through posting it on our GCs or sending me personal message, or you may raise your questions when we do our online synchronous classes. So for this assignment, kasi confident naman ako that madami na kayong natutunan about market structures, and I believe through this activity, you can collaborate with your classmates. So pwede kayong makapag-brainstorm with your group mates that we have already established in applied economics. So here's the direction. The students will be collaborating with their group in applied economics, and the groups are already established by the teacher through the group chat in Messenger app. You may check it there. By answering the question below, each group must be able to answer the question through an essay and should be composed of not less than 300 words, okay, and 3 paragraphs. Hopefully that the instruction is clear. So here is the question. As a student who is exposed of different market scenarios, why do you think competition is important in the market? Oi! Again, as a student who is exposed of different market scenarios, why do you think competition is important in the market? So please answer it correctly. Please collaborate and do brainstorming with your group mates or with your classmates. Communicate via messenger or text message, or if you want to do video calls, you may do so. But there is one reminder I want to tell you. Okay, please be reminded that be respectful at all times. And of course, you have to show care for your classmate at all times also. Huwag tayo maging bastos. We have to be very careful and keen on all the words that we are saying. And we must be sensitive to whatever we are saying to our classmates so that we could maintain a harmonious relationship with one another. So hopefully that is clear ha. Huwag mag-aaway. Kung merong hindi na pag-usapan ng mabuti, you try to reconcile it. You try to meet halfway. Okay? So hopefully the instructions are clear, and I am really hoping that you already understood our lesson for this day in applied economics about the different types of market structures. Okay? So I am expecting your answer sheets by next Monday, and I am expecting na tama lahat kasi sobrang dali na naman ang activity natin. Right? And I am really hoping that you could submit a clean, a readable answers by Monday. So I think that would be all. Thank you so much, Grade 12 Wisdom, for finishing watching this video lesson in applied economics for our lesson for this day, which is all about the different types of market structures. This has been your teacher, Renz Angela D. Calzada, saying, keep safe, be healthy, and enjoy the rest of the day. And hopefully you can finish answering all your modules, especially in applied economics. See you. God bless everyone. Goodbye.